여러분 반갑습니다. I'm Kwon So-hwa and this is K-Culture Dive. Join us in taking a deep dive into the heart of Korean culture, from K-entertainment to AI news and the latest in K-sports today. And with that, let's dive in. Joining us on today's show is Bella Kim. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa, and hello to everyone joining us today on K-Culture Dive. I'm Bella Kim, back again to co-host and fill you all in with some exciting K-entertainment news.
Bella, K-pop's global influence is continuing to expand around the world, and we can really feel the presence of that at major music awards.
Right.
And this time, it looks like K-pop artists added some trophies to their collection from Japan.
Yes, you're right, Soa. K-pop stars including BTS and Blackpink have been recognized at one of Japan's most prestigious music awards. According to the Music Awards Japan 2026, BTS won the award for Best K-pop Artist, while BTS member Jin took home the Best of Listener's Choice International Song Award for his solo track, Don't Say You Love Me. Blackpink also won at this year's Music Awards Japan. Their hit song, Jump, was named Best K-pop Song in Japan.
Well, of course, BTS and Blackpink are no strangers to international recognition,
Right.
but who else shined at the awards?
Well, I gotta tell you, we can't forget Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. It took home the Best Song Asia trophy. And lastly, G-Dragon's Power received the Special Award Korean Popular Music. The Music Awards Japan is organized by major Japanese music industry organizations and government agencies, and the winners are selected through votes from more than 5,000 music experts. This year's results definitely prove the growing impact of K-pop and Korean artists in Japan.
Well, congratulations to all the teams. And we're actually going to continue with K-pop success. It looks like a boy group has set a great milestone.
Boy Next Door are keeping up their rapid rise, achieving a fourth consecutive million-selling album with their first full-length album, Home. According to Hanta Chart, the album sold close to 1.1 million copies during its first week of release on June 8th, and this marks the group's fourth straight million seller, following its previous 3 mini albums. Home is the first album where all 6 members participated in the songwriting process, and it features tracks inspired by the members' real-life experiences, including their trainee days, and also songs expressing heartfelt messages to their parents and their fans as well. The album is gaining momentum on music charts. Viral, the main track of the new album, reached number 41 on Melon's daily chart and has remained on the chart for 6 consecutive days. It also ranked 8th on Apple Music Korea and 25th on Spotify Korea's daily top songs chart. Boy Next Door have also seen success in Japan, as Home debuted at number 1 on Orichan's daily album ranking and kept the top spot for 4 days in a row.
Wow, Boy Next Door certainly seems to be reaching new heights with every release.
Yes.
And speaking of success and records, we've also got a Korean film that's setting record after record.
It's the Korean blockbuster Colony, or Kuntae in Korean. It's continuing its impressive run, not only at home, but across Asia as well. The album has recently surpassed 5 million admissions in South Korea, while setting new records in several international markets. According to the distributor Showbox, Colony has become the highest-grossing Korean film of all time in Malaysia, with more than 1.5 million views since its release there in late May. The film overtook Train to Busan, which held the top spot for the past decade. And notably, both films are directed by Yeon Sang-ho. In Indonesia and the Philippines, Colony ranked 2nd among all Korean films ever released in both of the countries. And it also ranked 4th in Singapore and 5th in both Thailand and Taiwan, demonstrating its strong and consistent performance across Asia. Colony is a zombie thriller that follows a group of survivors trapped inside a quarantined building as they battle infected creatures. After being invited to the midnight screening section of the Cannes Film Festival, the film surpassed 5 million admissions in South Korea on June 13th and currently stands at 5.2 million.
It's really interesting how these K-zombie films are resonating in Southeast Asia, especially Malaysia, because not only Colony, but also Train to Busan, as you mentioned, but even Peninsula or Bando, another K-zombie film I heard was ranking actually third. So it's the Yeon Sang-woo universe there, I guess.
Definitely.
Well, thank you very much, Bella, for those stories, and stick around.
Realty.
All right, then now it's time to go over to our AI anchor Arang for more on the culture front. Arang.
Thanks, Swa. Here's your AI guide to the latest cultural headlines from Korea. Let's begin with our top story. President Lee Jae-myung met with Pope Leo XIV during his visit to the Vatican as part of his European tour, and presented him with a sculpture titled In God's Embrace as a gift. The presidential office said the artwork, inspired by the biblical parable of the prodigal son, was chosen for its message of compassion, forgiveness, reconciliation, and the restoration of community. Lee also gifted the pontiff a traditional Korean white porcelain-lidded vessel. The top office added that the piece reflects the elegance and aesthetics of emptiness characteristic of Korean white porcelain, values that align with the Catholic ideals of humility, contemplation, and simplicity. The government is launching a new program to support small and mid-sized K-pop agencies seeking to expand into overseas markets. The initiative, jointly led by the Culture Ministry and the Korea Creative Content Agency, is being introduced to promote the sustainable growth of the K-pop industry. 10 groups, including Recine, Psychers, and Tunex, have been selected as the inaugural beneficiaries. Under the program, the ministry will select 10 promising small and mid-sized agencies each year and provide up to 300 million won, or almost $200,000 in annual funding. The groups chosen this year plan to pursue a variety of activities aimed at strengthening their presence in global markets. The Tony Award-winning Korean musical Maybe Happy Ending has concluded its nationwide tour, drawing sold-out crowds at every performance across 16 cities. Producer NHN Link said the production staged 78 performances in 16 cities from February this year, achieving a 100% average seat occupancy rate and selling out every show. The musical Soul Run, which took place from October last year through January, also sold out all 112 performances. Maybe Happy Ending follows the story of Oliver and Claire, two helper robots designed to assist humans. The production helped elevate the global profile of Korean musicals after winning 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical and Best Original Score. That's all from me. Turning now to a quick look at more K-culture stories making headlines today.
For centuries, porcelain memorial tablets buried alongside the dead preserved the stories of lives once lived during Korea's Joseon dynasty. Now, after spending years overseas, 10 of these rare and remarkably well-preserved artifacts have finally returned home. Cha Yoon-kyung reports.
On a white porcelain tablet, characters are meticulously inscribed in deep blue cobalt pigment. It is a comprehensive record of the life, character, family lineage, and funeral rites of Lee Jin-gum, who served as a Minister of Culture and Education during the late Joseon dynasty. The epitaph was composed by Lee Deok-soo, the Minister of Interior, and the calligraphy was brushed by the deceased son, Lee Kwang-sa, who was one of the most renowned calligraphers of the late Joseon era. Its preservation is remarkable. It looks as if it were just taken out of the kiln. Beyond the family record, this memorial tablet serves as a vital resource for studying the cultural and social history of the era. The elegant tablet made by Sun Jong, the last king of the Joseon dynasty, for his mother's birthday, has been returned to its homeland. Korean residents in Japan had kept these historical tablets and donated them.
We thought that the descendants might not even know the fact that their ancestors' graves had been taken abroad. So we thought that this was the right thing to do.
Around 28,000 cultural heritage items have been returned to the country since the initiative began in 2012. Most have been donated voluntarily. The Korean government is planning collaborations with famous museums and collectors to attract more donations from overseas. Cha Yoon-kyung, Arirang News.
Summer in Korea isn't the hottest in the world, but the heat and humidity can still be relentless. Today, we beat the heat with air conditioners and ice-cold drinks. But centuries ago, long before air conditioning, how did Koreans stay cool? Well, they wore the breeze itself, a breathable fabric called mochi. Mochi is a traditional Korean fabric woven from the fibers of the rami plant. At first glance, rami looks like an ordinary stalk, but hidden beneath its outer layer are incredibly strong and delicate fibers. The stalks were cut, stripped, soaked in water, and split into hair-thin strands by hand. Those strands were then carefully joined into thread and woven into an exceptionally light and breathable cloth. The result was a fabric perfectly suited to Korea's sweltering summers. Mochi rarely clings to the skin, allows air to circulate freely, and quickly releases sweat and moisture, making it one of the coolest natural textiles ever created. For generations, mochi helped Koreans endure the summer heat. The craft dates back to the Three Kingdoms period and was refined through the unified Silla, Goryeo, and Joseon dynasties, surviving for more than 1,000 years. Among Korea's many rami traditions, Hansan mochi stands out as the most renowned. Passed down through generations in Seocheon, Chungcheongnam-do province, it was recognized by UNESCO in 2011 as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Today, mochi is experiencing a revival. Designers are transforming this centuries-old fabric into modern summer clothing and fashion accessories, embracing its feather-light feel and elegant, translucent texture. Mochi is more than just a fabric. It's a centuries-old Korean innovation, nature's air conditioner, and a timeless answer to summer.
World Cup fever is heating up, with Korean football fans celebrating the team's impressive start. Now, for more on that and other sports headlines, we're now joined by our sportscaster Jason Lee in this studio. Welcome back, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon it is, and it was a good game that we're going to talk about. Probably today's going to be mainly focused on the World Cup, right?
I think it's safe to say that, I'll definitely summarize what happened with Korea and Czechia as well. I'll preview what's going on with Korea taking on Mexico later this week. I'll also talk about Lee Jung-hoo's hitting streak as well as LPGA action, because we can't talk about Korean sports without at least bringing up the LPGA when they play.
Of course. So, Jason, last week you predicted that the game South Korea against Czechia, or the Czech Republic, would turn out 2-1. And it happened.
In Korea's favor.
Yes. So, could you please predict 5-0 against Mexico?
Yes, please.
6-0, 10-0, sure. We'll get to the Mexico preview in a little bit. But let's first talk about the Czechia game. Indeed, it was a 2-1 win for Korea against Czechia. And, this was a really good game to watch. I mean, there were plenty of opportunities for both teams, but Korea got the 3 points despite falling behind in the 59th minute. Czechia were expected to be dangerous on set plays. I mentioned that last week. And indeed, that's how they scored their first goal, off of a header on a throw-in. And the Czech appeared to score another set-piece goal, but that was correctly ruled offside. More on that play in a little bit. But Korea's goals, they came from Hwang In-bum, who received a really nice pass from guess who? Lee Gang-in, the master of long passes, and then an even more impressive finish by Hwang. I mean, I think we're going to see the highlights from this fake shot and then chip shot goal every day for a while because it was a beauty. Hwang In-bum was clearly the man of the match after also setting up Oh Hyun-gyu's game winner in the 80th minute. A beautiful run down the right side and then crossed in for Oh to finish on the shot. And I've got to say, Oh Hyun-gyu, also one of the players that I wanted to see more of in this World Cup, and he certainly did not disappoint with the brief opportunity that he got finishing up on the goal. I hope we get to see a lot more of Oh Hyun-gyu.
Yes,
Right.
definitely. And I agree with you completely with seeing Oh Hyun-gyu more because actually 4 years ago, he went to World Cup without a number, right? So it was extra touching to see him score that winning goal in the last match. So I want to ask you, what is it about Oh Hyun-gyu that you really like? And can you please mention other players that impressed you?
Well, first off, I think there's a certain feistiness to Oh Hyun-gyu that he's got that I really, really like. He doesn't back down from anything. I think he's the kind of guy that wants the other team to dislike him. And not every athlete is like that. And I think you need at least a few guys on your team that have that sort of attitude. And when you're playing at that level, the thing is, everyone is very, very skilled. And it becomes more about forcing your opponent into making mistakes. And I think Oh Hyun-gyu sort of enjoys being the antagonist and gets under opponent's skin and get them off of their game. So I think he's good at that. They need players like that, and I think it's great to see. Meanwhile, other players that stood out, absolutely. You have to give credit to keeper Kim Seung-gyu, who made a pair of great saves to preserve the victory. What a game he had. Also, a shout out to Baek Sung-ho. Most people might not have caught this, but on the Czechia goal that was ruled offside, Baek Sung-ho kind of shoved Thomas Souček just before the free kick was taken, putting him offside, which is why the goal was disallowed. Very smart play by Baek. A lot of people didn't catch it, but I think he is responsible for that goal not counting.
Right, excellent performances. And I think these performances give fans enough reason to be optimistic. But we're going to shift now to Mexico, not just Mexico as in the venue, but also Mexico, the team who South Korea is going to face on Friday, 10 a.m. Korean time. Probably Arirang, the office, is going to be cheering again, very loud. But Mexico won their first game 2-0 against South Africa. So what do you think are the chances about Korea winning against Mexico?
Yeah, you know, coming into the World Cup, Mexico clearly had to be one of the favorites. They're the host team. Obviously, they start off with a 2-0 victory against South Africa, so they're off to a great start. But, you know, I think the consensus, if you hear the experts and analysts talk about this Mexico team, a lot of them are saying that this isn't as good of a team as they've put together in the past. Even their 2-0 win against South Africa, and I've got to agree that I don't think that 2-0 win is as impressive as it might have looked on paper. Let's start with that first goal. South Africa's defense completely made a huge mistake gifting the opportunity for Mexico to score, which they did do, but it was an easy goal to score for them because of South Africa's mistake, not because of Mexico's buildup. Also, Mexico's second goal, that was after the first of 2 red cards that South Africa suffered. So it's going to make that game a lot easier for them to win. South Africa playing with just 9 men. So I don't know if I can say that Mexico was full value for this win. It seemed more like it was South Africa shooting themselves in the foot to make this happen. Now, Korea, they're going to have to watch out for Raul Jimenez. He's a forward for Fulham, and he scored the second Mexican goal off of a header. So Korea's, that's their weakness, if anything. They've got to watch out for balls in the air. That's going to be something to watch for. Also, Edson Alvarez of West Ham is their midfield quarterback. He controls the play and starts off most of the plays, so he's the guy that they've got to keep the ball away from in the beginning. Also, Julian Quinones scored the first goal against South Africa, and like I said, that was a goal where the defense for South Africa messed up. However, Quinones still had to make the shot, beat the goalie in order to do so, which he was able to do, which does show that he can be dangerous as well. As for predictions, okay, our favorite part, I can definitely see this being a 1-1 draw, especially because of the home crowd for Mexico. But I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Korea. And I actually think Korea matches up well against Mexico. And I should also say that Mexico lost their center back to a red card in the game. It was an injury time, but their center back got a red card in the game, and that means he cannot play the next game against Korea. So they're missing their starting center back. Although they are playing in Mexico, I think Korea was more full value for their win compared to Mexico against South Africa. Also, Czechia is a much better team than South Africa as well. So I'm going with 2-1 for Korea.
Okay, I'll just go with what Jason goes with. And I also do hope that a lot of Red Devils, a lot of Koreans will be at the stadium to cheer for that game.
I know.
mean, there is a home advantage for Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite part about the last game was all I heard was 대한민국, right? It
the
was
Korean
amazing.
crowd was ruckus there,
Yes.
for sure. Yeah, it was definitely a pro-Korean crowd against Czechia. It will not be the case against Mexico.
Well, I'll be the one cheering. We'll be the one cheering here at home. So.
They'll hear us through the TV
Go Korea!
monitors.
Yes. Okay, so now let's shift over to baseball. Last week you updated us that Lee Jung-woo's hitting streak is at 16 games. Is it still ongoing? What's with him?
So, yeah, last week it reached 16 games as we were on air, and he actually did have hits in 2 more games. In fact, both of those games, by the way, were multi-hit games. So he had 2 hits and then 2 more hits to extend his hitting streak to 18 games. And then he went hitless in back-to-back games before actually getting 2 more hits yesterday against the Cubs. So his hitting streak is over at 18 games, but he just started a new hitting streak with a couple of hits yesterday morning. That has his average now at .331, which is still only behind Miami's Otto Lopez for the best average in all of baseball. So Lee Jung-woo still hitting great, and we'll see how he continues.
That's amazing. And any other significant news related to the baseball players playing overseas?
You know, I would say Go Woo-suk is actually playing well. Once again, I've mentioned before that he's been doing well in AAA, and he continues to do so. In 4 June appearances, he has yet to allow a run again in 5 innings of work, while only allowing 1 hit. 0 walks, and he also has 5 strikeouts in that span. So clearly, Go Woo-suk is ready for a promotion to Detroit. It's just a matter of when they need him, because earlier in the season it was okay. He needs to be a better pitcher. He needs to pitch better in order to get promoted. Right now, he is pitching so well that he deserves to be in the major leagues right now, but they just don't need him yet. So if an injury happens, something goes wrong, someone struggles with the Tigers, I can see him getting promoted hopefully in the near future.
Okay, let's keep our eye on that. And baseball overseas, baseball in Korea, and football, so much to watch these days.
Yes.
But also the LPGA, and that's what we're going to wrap up with today. Who was it this time, and was it another win for Korea?
Well, okay, you might recall this time last year, there was an event called the Dow Championship in the LPGA. This is actually a doubles tournament. And you might remember that Im Jin-hee and Lee So-mi won that event for Korea last year. And they were in the hunt together again, with Choi Hye-jin and Kim Hyo-ju owning the 3rd round lead going into the final round. Unfortunately, it was another second place finish for Korea, as Americans Gina Kim and Yana Wilson combined for a final round 62, which was good for a 2-stroke victory over Choi Hye-jin and Kim Hyo-ju. Im Jin-hee and Lee So-mi settled for 3rd place in defense of their title from a year ago. And I should mention, of course, that Gina Kim, you hear a name like that. Yes, she is American, but she is a Korean American that wins that championship for America, but, you know, kind of some Korean influence in there as well.
Right, we could could say so. And before we let you go, Jason, so the game, the South Korea against Mexico game, the World Cup game, is going to be on Friday. Where are you going to watch it, and how do you enjoy watching the World Cup games these days?
You know, I really wanted to go to Gwanghwamun to watch the games. I love being in public places or in groups of people so that, you know, we can all cheer together for games like that. Unfortunately, I have to go down to Busan right after the game. So I'm going to just kind of watch it at home, and then I've got to hit the road to get down south immediately after. And same with last week. I had to work right after the game. So both of the first two games anyways, I'm going to have to watch from home and then sprint off to work afterwards. But I'm definitely going to be enjoying. I hope if you haven't figured out where you're going to watch it yet, I definitely recommend going to a place like Gwanghwamun or a public area where you can join in. Because I think the great thing about cheering for Korea in soccer matches and sporting events is the cheering part of it, because, you know, Koreans are so great at cheering. So be a part of the atmosphere.
Definitely. Well, I'm going to be in the office, but still I'm going to enjoy it. Bella, maybe do you have a chance to go out somewhere?
Oh, not out for this game, but for the next one, I think I'm going to plan to go out maybe to, you know, cheer on and get my voice out there.
Okay, tell us more about that.
Yes, we'll do.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason. We're going to see you back here next week.
Thank you, Jason.
And thank you, Bella. We're going to see you back this week.
Yes, I'll see you soon.
And thanks for watching and your interest in everything K-culture. Please tune in again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Korea time. Keep diving.